Hello and welcome to the Jessica McDonald Designs podcast, episode 2. This is a podcast about knitting, and this podcast episode in particular will be devoted to Treeline, which is the sweater you see me wearing here, and Little Treeline, which is its child-sized companion. You can find me on Ravelry as Jessica M. Knits. You can also just search Jessica McDonald in the designer section and find me. You can also find me on Instagram as Jessica M. Knits. And I will put links to those things down in the description box so you can find me more easily. You can also sign up to my newsletter if you would like, and I will put a link to that down in the description box as well. So let's dive into talking about this sweater. I have been very excited to share this sweater with you. I've been sitting on a secret all summer and fall. This pattern is coming out with Quince Co. It should be released today. I'm recording this just before Christmas because this is coming out just after Christmas and I don't go have time to record right after Christmas. So this sweater should be out today. Treeline and also Little Treeline. So I wanted to share with you some of the story behind the design and talk a little more about the construction and go over it in more detail in case you wanted to hear more about it. So back in March, possibly April, but I think it was March, I was trying to make Jimmy a Colorwork sweater and everything I was coming up with just wasn't working out at all. And one day I was doing dishes and looking at the mountains out my kitchen window, and the design just came to me all of a sudden, and so I quickly charted it out and swatched. And this is my original swatch here. This is the Treeline motif, but I was of course making a sweater for Jimmy, and this is too tall. There's too many rows in this motif to fit on a children's sweater, so I shrank it up a bit to make it fit on a children's sweater. And as you can see, Treeline is in the blue and Little Treeline is in the orange. Little Treeline has one fewer branches in its tree, and then also the chevrons here are a little bit narrower in Little Treeline versus Treeline. So that makes the motif a little bit smaller, but it still has the overall effect, but it makes it so that it fits on a child-sized yoke. So I made Little Treeline first, and I think it's absolutely stunning. It almost looks like I'm wearing it, holding it like this. So this is size 2. This is the smallest size it comes in, and you can see that this motif just fits on this depth of a yoke. So it works out perfectly to start out at size 2. And it goes sizes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 years for the children's version. And you can see that this motif has the flowers, or not the flowers, the flowers. I want spring to come already. The forests and the mountains here. The chevrons are the mountain peaks and valleys. So that's my inspiration, was forests and mountains, and then it turned into this beautiful yoke. So I did Jimmy's first, and then immediately started my own, which I couldn't not have one, because it's beautiful, it's stunning, I love it. So immediately started my own, and the trees are a little taller, chevrons are a little deeper. And then I also did these little transition pieces, just kind of to gently ease the Colorwork yoke down into the plain body. And you can see the children's yoke has it as well, but I think it has one fewer. This one has 3, this one only has 2. So their Little Treeline is scaled down in its entirety from Treeline. So there they are. Now this sweater is knit from the top down in the round. So start at the ribbing at the top. Just standard top-down construction. The adult version has short rows to lift the back neck so it fits more comfortably, and those are done underneath the colorwork in the back. I'll show you the back. I didn't want to interrupt this line of Colorwork right around the neck. So I put the short rows underneath down here, and that raises the back neck so that it fits comfortably, but the colorwork around the neck is still just uninterrupted by a wedge of short rows, because where the trees come right up to the ribbing, I didn't think it would look very good for that to be interrupted in the back. So that's why I put the short rows underneath the colorwork as opposed to above it. So yeah, fits really nice. There's waist shaping in the body, so it fits, it has a tailored fit, but it's not super tight. There's nothing at the cuffs or at the hem. I can stand tall enough, I'll pull it up a little bit. There's no colorwork at the cuffs or the hem. I just wanted it to be all about this and then simple the rest of the way through. So turned out beautiful, and I really love wearing it. It's my favorite sweater, my absolute favorite sweater. I wear it all the time. Probably shouldn't tell you how often. I do wash it, I promise. But it's my favorite sweater. It's incredibly comfortable and warm and beautiful, and I feel really beautiful in it, and I just love it. So I'm very excited that I can share it with you now after having it a secret for so long. And also this one. This one's so cute on a little kid. I love it. Absolutely love it. Both of them are made out of Quince Co Lark. Back when I was working on this design, and Lark is my favorite yarn of all times. Back when I was working on this yarn and I put it on Instagram, the ladies at Quince Co noticed it and sent me an email saying how much they loved it and they wanted to publish the design, which was absolutely thrilling. I absolutely love Quince Co. I love their yarn. I love their design aesthetic and their overall creative vision, I suppose you would say. I like that it's American wool and sourced more ethically than other places. That's something that I like. I like to support companies that are more local than China and who have some sense of ethics behind how they operate their business and how they source their products. And so I really like Quince Co. Their yarn is amazing. It's really soft. They have a lot of colors, so you can make this sweater any color, absolutely any color you want to make it. It also is incredibly durable. Like, Jimmy has worn this at least 100 times. I'm not even kidding, 100 times. And obviously I've depilled it and washed it dozens of times. But look how beautiful it still looks. I mean, this is amazing. After being worn like crazy by a toddler too. It's this, I usually put this side in front because the ribbing right here is a teeny bit felted from being under his chin all the time, which you probably, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but anyway, in real life you can see it's a little bit felted if I point it out to you, I suppose. But that's it. It's in fantastic shape. It's beautiful. I mean, it looks amazing. It could easily have another couple hundred wears in this sweater. So it's something I really like about this yarn is how durable it is, because you spend all that money on yarn and you spend all that time making something, you want it to last. I've been found. You want it to last. So Lark lasts a very long time. It's gonna look really good on another kid. And so I've worn mine 70 times and it looks amazing. It looks like new. So it's a really durable yarn. Brenda has just come and found me. I don't have a babysitter today, so I turned on My Little Pony, and I guess she decided that I was probably doing something much more interesting than that. So now I have an audience besides all of you. So, Treeline and Little Treeline. I think I've covered everything. Oh, I was going to talk about sizes. Okay, so this goes from size 2 years up to 12 years, and that gets you through a 30-inch chest circumference. And then Treeline picks up at 32 inches, and there's 11 sizes of Treeline, and it goes up to a 52-inch chest circumference. So there is a size that will fit on you. It goes in 2-inch increments, which will be about 5 centimeters if you are on the metric system. I would advise you to choose a size that gives you about 2 inches of positive ease. Don't go any more than that, or the yoke is going to end up too big. This is not designed to be a oversized boxy fitting sweater. This is designed to be closer fitting and more tailored, and just more of a, don't touch that, you'll move the camera, more of a tailored classic fit. This is something that you can wear now and look fantastic, and in 10 years it's going to look great too. So no more than 2 inches of ease. If you're questioning what size to choose, if you're between two sizes and you're trying to choose which size to go with, I would advise you to go down a size, because like I said, if you go up too big, the yoke will be too big and it just won't look right. It just will be too big. She's in my lap. You can probably see the top of her head every once in a while. There she is. Can you say hi?
No.
Can you wave?
No.
No. Okay. So that is my advice as far as sizing. Like I said, it sized from 32 inches to 52 inches with 11 sizes in there. It's at 2-inch increments. So there will be a size that fits you with 2 inches or less of ease. So I would advise you to go with that. So we have a little podcast visitor. The neckline I designed to be a little bit looser fitting, because I don't like necklines that ride up on my throat. I find that to be uncomfortable, so I made it a little bit looser, but it's not going to gape. I've made sure that even in the larger sizes it still fits nicely. Can you stop making that noise, please? There we go. I made sure that in the larger sizes, even as it's graded up all the way up to 52 inches, it's not going to be too wide. It's still going to fit nicely around your neck. So it won't fit tightly if you're just wearing it by itself. And I've also designed it that way so that if you choose to wear it over top of a collared shirt, then it will still lay nicely, because if it's too tight on the neck, the collar will make it kind of, push it down and bunch it up. But that's not going to happen here. I've worn it over a collared shirt a couple of times, and it doesn't bunch up here in the front, so it will still lay really nicely if that's the way you want to wear it. I prefer to just wear it on its own like this. I find that it's very comfortable, very attractive, very much so me. Really like this. So let me just look at my notes again. I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you about this sweater. Messed up right here. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I messed up right there. I didn't notice it until I'd worn it dozens of times. Of course, my husband said he noticed it right away, but I didn't notice it, and I'm just gonna leave it. If I really cared a lot, I could duplicate stitch over those two with the main color, but it's unique this way. Nobody else will probably make this mistake, so yeah. The color work is very simple. Even if I did mess it up, it is very simple to do. It's just one contrast color on the main color, so it's really easy to do, just 2 colors. It's not complicated or fussy. It's really easy to memorize the repeats. So it's really, really fun, but not intimidating. So if you've never done color work before and you were thinking of giving it a try, then you could give it a try on this sweater, because the color work is not at all complicated, but it's still not boring. If you're a more experienced knitter, you can still make this and have a lot of fun. So it's something that's really fun to make and also really fun to wear. So I'm really pleased with how this turned out. My goal with every pattern I write is something that's going to be really enjoyable to knit, but also something that you really love to wear and that you wear all the time. And so I think I hit the nail on the head with this one. I really loved making it. I made 2 adult-sized ones and 2 kid-sized ones and didn't get bored with it at all. So it's really fun to make. I really love to wear it all the time. It's my favorite sweater, and I think you should make one too, so you have your own favorite sweater, because I absolutely love this. I really do. I wear it all the time. I promise I wash it. But anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to share with you about this sweater. I'm not going to tell you anything else about other stuff that I'm working on today, because like I said, I don't have anybody here watching the kids. Jim is at work, so the TV is the babysitter, which, as we saw, is not always the best babysitter. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up, and next podcast episode I'll have a lot to share with you. I can share with you everything that I've been working on, except for the things I've given away as Christmas presents. So I'll have a lot to show you next time. So if you want to see other things I'm working on, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my podcast episodes. And so thank you for coming and watching and putting up with me talking about knitting. I hope you come back next time. I'm delighted to have you here. So bye.